No, I
Yeah.
read what he said. He did not lose the championship game to the Patriots because of Spygate.
And he didn't get caught. That's what he said.
That's what he said. If you ain't get caught, it's not cheating. I said, wait, what?
When did they spygate the
I agree
Patriots
with
though?
him.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
I mean, well, really, what he's saying is factual. It is only cheating when you get caught. It's
Right.
only cheating to other people when you get caught. Now, it's
Stand up.
look at Dave. Give me some of that chewing gum.
The breath. They're good too. These are old fashioned. Just picked them up from Stop and Shop. Boy, I was looking for weeks.
Trap boys out doubling up on bricks. For musicians like myself that was blessed with the gifts. The rap on the package is what it is. Swerving the traffic like I lost control of the whip. Heard the competition like I ran over these bricks. Double lines being nothing when you're hugging the bridge. Red light, green light, and light, heat bright, bright. Superstar life make these lanes take right, right. Fabulous flow make the girls say nice. So rock cups full to the party break play. The cross beach goes to the cabin sight. On to the next like Jay said, right there. Swag too slick, make a hater wanna bite. Not out of Taylor boy, put your blick to my life. So what I gotta prove? If my lords like boy, nothing to lose. And I'm humble on the mic, get the beats be bruised. The cat look calm like I never made a fool. Watch they go on the beat, knock the hammer in his teeth. These boys all brittle, tried up raps. I never move triple cause I got 2 feet. Providing my own meals, boy, nobody bad me. The grind is impeccable, I've been chasing decimals. Now it's like me and the money is inseparable. Catch the best that I'm sending to you. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. I've been through it, but I've been skilled it. Now I feel like a champ, bitch, I'm undisputed. Thought I conquered the whole game, the hustle never been lame. Pretty soon, first you'll remember my name.
Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing out there today? Welcome to the Talk Your Wish Tuesday. Having a couple difficulties, sorry about that. This is your boy Dennis Holmes here. Got my co-host Ryan Thomas.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
I mean, we got Czar in the building.
What it do? What it do?
He got his pimp hat on. We got the sports guru in the house.
I'm here.
I know he's smiling hard because New York taking a L. We got Sharon, the chocolate girl, in the building.
What's up, y'all? Spartan for life.
Okay. And we got the man who does the intro music for us, Will the Ace MVP. You ever wanted to know who that was rapping on the intro? There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The MVP is here.
What's going on? What's going on?
All right. Now, I want to get right into it. We've been watching, my city started the BS, throwing the popcorn on Russell Westbrook. We seen, about an hour later in the New York game, Trae Young got spit on in New York. Then we also seen Kyrie Irving go stump on the mascot, Well, my fault. He went and go stumped on the wood where the mascot is, and somebody threw a water bottle at him. We need to talk about what is called player safety and exactly how do y'all feel about it. So, Sports Guru, I'm going to go to you first on this one, man. How do you feel about this player safety?
Okay, well, you know, I have to be honest, and sometimes you say things and not everybody's going to be receptive to what you're saying, but we have to take into consideration that the NBA is a predominantly black league, and unfortunately, so far, most of these fans that have been misbehaving and sort of, I guess, disrespecting, have been predominantly white. I don't know if that's a bigger issue that we have to look into in terms of a lot of people have made excuses for some of these fans saying that they have been cooped up for so long. We've all been cooped up. But as, and I'm not a big Durant fan, but hey, he kind of, alluded to it. You got to have some damn home training. Okay. And you got to, if you have a mother or father or aunt or uncle, you got to respect what they taught you. And this is, we don't see it as much in football because, most people know if you mess with a football player, they're liable to kill you. And then, obviously baseball, predominantly white sport, certainly Latinos are, big and large and in charge in baseball too. But it does seem to be some sort of racial overtone that we're seeing with all of these incidences where people think that because you're a black athlete, they can take umbrage with you. And the only thing that I can think of right now is that you have to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. I know earlier people were laughing about what Barkley said, but Barkley said two things. He said that you should, let them fight, or Russell Westbrook. But the thing about that is he also said that Kyrie might get his ass whipped. So, I mean, and let's face it, what's his name? Paul Pierce found out the hard way in Boston. He got stabbed and almost lost his life. So you don't know who you messing with. So you got to be careful about talking about violence because violence can backfire on you. But one thing that has to be done is it can't be only suspending their tickets and now that they have facial recognition, maybe you never can come to a game again. That is pretty steep. But what you have to do is you either have to enact some sort of law or Congress. They like to do a lot of things where if fans act out in this way, they receive the most harshest penalty that the law can give them. The Boston fan, he got an assault charge. That's a pretty, now if you can plea bargain that down if anybody knows anything about the law, but that's where it starts. It starts with prosecuting them to the fullest extent of the law. I'm not for all this violence because violence, like I said, violence can back up, blow up in your face, and Kyrie would be the one to get his ass whipped. So and give us all the brothers a bad name. But that's beside the point. But that's where I stand at this point.
All right, Sharon, how you feel?
You know how I feel about this. I mean, I had to do my podcast on it. I'm so incensed by what's going on. I am so sick and tired of people believing that they can do or say whatever they want because they bought a ticket. To me, it's just a sense of entitlement. That's what it is. I pay for these tickets. I sit down close to the players. I can do whatever I want to do because I bought a ticket. And that's BS. And I'm really, really tired of it. And, I see people in these sports groups that I'm in laughing, talking about, it's just popcorn. Really? That's your response? It's just popcorn with butter on it? And that's supposed to be okay? See, if it was their son, they'd have a different view of the whole thing. I honestly believe. That's first of all. But I think it needs to be much more severe than just the potential of charges. The reason being is something that Mr. Hargrove mentioned. They can be plea bargained down. So yeah, it may start with the harshest, but it could be plea bargained down to a misdemeanor with no jail time, pay a fine and keep it moving. Maybe a little community service. No. As I say in my podcast, Did you hear what Chocolate said? I believe it needs to be charges, but it also needs to be a hefty fine for the average person. Now, when coaches or teams or anybody has a little conversation with a player on another team saying, hey, why don't you come play with me? Don't they get fined?
Yeah.
Don't they get fined? And don't they call that tampering?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I hear that a team recently got fined something like $500,000, like $500,000 for talking to somebody ahead of time or something like that, some crazy amount?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm not suggesting that maybe these fans be fined $500,000, but 5 or 10,000, 15,000, maybe 20. Who can afford that? Not many. Not many people got 20 grand just lying around. You see, that's in my retirement. I'm not going to forfeit my retirement money just so I can throw some popcorn on a player I hate. That's just ridiculous. So yeah, charges, fine them. Something else I came up with, instead of community service, because community service is too nice. Community service make you feel good. Help some little children, you feed the hungry, you clothe the homeless. That stuff makes you feel good, right? Because you're helping somebody. Now that's too good for these bums. They need to go and work for free, clean some nasty toilets and some trash cans in the arenas or something for free. That'll save the arena some money. They don't have to pay somebody else to do that. Let them do that for about 6 months or so straight. Spend their weekends cleaning up some of these arenas for free in the nastiest arenas they can find. Start at Philly. Start there and clean them up. Do that.
That's a state of the art.
I just said that to make sure he was paying attention, because he looked like he wasn't paying me no attention. So I had to say something to make sure he was paying me attention. But you get what I'm saying with this. So fine them. What did I say? Fine them, charge them, make them clean up some shit, and ban them. You're gonna pour something on a football player, you can't attend any NFL games, period, for the rest of your freaking life. I bet you they will sit up and take notice then. And don't tell me it can't be done. You're right. Facial recognition and some more shit. The government can find, let me tell you something, y'all. The US government can find anybody they want to find. Don't you believe in the hype when they say they can't find somebody. There's the technology out there to find anybody you want to find. Okay? And right, Ace, your cell phone is the biggest tracker of all. But even besides that, so I think they need to get really serious and intentional about this stuff. And if they do that, this mess would stop. If I was in control of it, it would be, all this mess would be shut down. But I agree with Mr. Hargrove. I'm not for the fighting thing. It sounds funny, it sounds cool to say, but it's not. In the reality of it, sponsoring violence to settle something like that because of violence to start with doesn't make any sense, and I wouldn't do it. There you go.
It's good. Czar, what you got, Czar?
Man, I mean, we were just talking about it before we went on. I mean, I know. So I know it's a quick reaction, and I know, and people were pissed. So like I was telling Sharon earlier, like what Barkley said, they need to let that man, because Westbrook, we already know Westbrook's, attitude. Like, we know the type of player he is and the person he is. So when that popcorn came, it took all 6 of those guards to stop him from going to the stands. If you watch the screen, and Barkley said, hey, they should let that player come down and let Westbrook beat the F out of him. And I agree. And I get when you think about the bigger picture, kind of what sports said, even Sharon earlier. Yeah, it's violence, or again, it's not the perfect answer, but I mean, each of those incidents, I got upset when they spit on Trey, when they threw the water bottle. That's just my first instinct, especially where I'm from and how I grew up. Like Kellen saying in the chat, these fans getting players put hands on them, they'll learn. So, that's kind of what we think, and I agree with it. Yes, is that going to just, I do think if a couple fans get their ass beat and it's allowed, I do think, others will take notice and be like, oh, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna throw nothing on, LeBron or whoever, any player or NBA players usually they're pretty big. Most NBA players for the most part, unlike Kyrie, which is why Barkley said he might get his butt whooped because it was a size thing or whatever the case may be. But no, I mean everybody's got good points, but something's got to be done. I know, someone beat your booty or whatever. You're gonna listen. You're gonna learn today. We got whooped growing up. You're gonna learn today. But you can go after their pockets. I'm good with that. If they got money, if they don't, then they ain't gonna never have no money because they're gonna be owing money or whatever the case may be. So I'm good with all that. But I mean, just me. They need their asses beat. I mean, I got that's just where I'm at with it.
I'm just saying, make it like a student loan. Them student loan payments don't go away, right? I would tack this on them like a student loan. You gotta pay this when you get your tax return done. Give me that money till you pay this fine. I'm serious about this. And people, I said this to somebody and they thought I was ridiculous, and I said no, this is very serious. The popcorn turns into something else. It's popcorn today. What's it gonna be next season? It's gonna be something else. Somebody spit on Trae Young. Spit on him.
They're in the midst of a
He
pandemic.
knows that game was nationally televised, but he felt comfortable enough to haul up and spit on this dude.
Over 50 cents.
And I mean, he deserves. Let me tell you, Trae Young, my MVP. He's my MVP now, because if you notice, he sat there, he felt it. And you can see him standing there like something wet on the back of my, and he didn't turn around. He didn't say a word. His own coach didn't even know it happened until the next morning when he saw an article. So he didn't even talk about it. I mean, I really looked into this. This is ridiculous. And like I said, it's popcorn today. What's it gonna be next season when Westbrook comes walking in the tunnel in that town? In Utah, those people that they need to take that team out of Utah. Take that team to Seattle. I've been pushing for Seattle to get a team. Just move the Jazz to Seattle. F them people. They don't like us. They don't want us there. Fine. That's how I feel about it. I'm sorry. I don't think they can be too tough about this because it's just gotten out of hand, and not just in the NBA. Not just in the NBA.
Okay. Will, the Ace MVP.
Had it been Ron Artest, he would have went up and started whooping the crap out of somebody. All right. So they're lucky that these players are a lot more controlled now, especially with someone being spit on and in the midst of a pandemic. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Criminal.
I don't condone any of that. And I think it's stupid. It's not good. We're just now getting out the house and getting back to normal life. And this is the things you want to do. We're being allowed to go to sporting events. And now you're going to put us in jeopardy for them to maybe take us away from sporting events or put maybe glass or something around. Can you imagine sitting behind barriers at an NBA game? I mean, this is not something that we want to do. As people, we got to be better. We're paying good money and these guys are making good money and they're putting on a show in a clinic for us to watch so we could cheer. Unacceptable. They got to take the charges to the furthest extent. You got to make an example out of somebody. It has to happen. If you don't make an example out of somebody, it's going to continue to happen. Had it been someone like Ron Artest or somebody with an attitude who really was about that life per se, it could have got worse. And then, people would have been saying, well, how come that player did this and that? And not understanding that it was the fans' fault, and all that stuff. I did also want to say something as far as, if I think some of these people are season ticket holders. So I wouldn't be surprised if those type of contracts change, in the future. Whereas if, there's something in there saying, hey, if you do proceed to, harm a player or whatever, money or charges or whatever, you're going to be signing something that says you're going to be in a lot of trouble or banned or whatever the case may be. That's just my take on it. It's unacceptable. We can't be doing that stuff, whether it's basketball, football. You wouldn't do that in football. No way. the team will jump on you, and it can't be allowed in basketball or any sport. So
Wouldn't do it in hockey.
yeah, you
Oh,
just can't.
okay.
Yeah, but see,
Well,
with hockey,
they've done it. They've done it in the NFL and hockey.
all right, but
They've
with
done
hockey,
it.
they sit behind the glass too, those barriers. So remember what I was
Yeah, I
just saying
know.
about basketball. What if they put up barriers? Could you imagine sitting at a NBA game and you're trying to be courtside, and now
Oh,
you
they
got
tried it in
But
hockey, and
this is,
Darcy
but
Tucker beat the crap out of the
is
guy
what
in
I
the penalty
mean.
box.
This is what I mean by this is why we can't have nice things,
right,
because people like that mess it up for the rest of us,
right, and it's not right.
and it's not right.
You
In
got
the
to make
NFL,
the
there's been a
example.
few incidents in the NFL. But a large part of it has been, fan against fan. But there's been some things like a few years ago. I talk about it in my podcast. One of the Seattle Seahawks players was a drink was thrown on him while he was getting escorted out the stadium, and he tried to get up in there and
Quentin
whoop
Jefferson.
their ass.
Yeah.
And security, had to take him back in the tunnel. That's ridiculous. I mean, this man weighs 300 pounds almost,
Right.
and this is what you're gonna do today. And if let go, he would have probably killed that dude, and then everybody would be pointing at him saying, "Oh, look at you, you a savage.
Right.
You don't know how to act." And I'm like, no, you can't do that. It's disrespectful, and it's a shame.
We just got off punishment. Let us go and enjoy the events. Just sit in your seat and be
What
a
I'm
spectator.
saying.
You know what I mean? Come on.
Ryan, what you got, Ryan?
Shut up.
I really think these people need to the NBA need to come down hard on them. I mean hard. Like the NBA need to set the tone. Put them in jail, everything. Because if you don't, they will keep on doing it and it will get out of control.
Okay. Sports angle, what you got?
To me, baseball, basketball, football, hockey, it all comes down to a lack of respect. I've always felt like, when it comes to the fans, they have that barrier in between them, and then they become Superman. I mean, they sit there and they're watching the game. They might have a little bit too much alcohol in their system. Maybe they're just a bunch of a-holes. We don't really know. But they just get that confidence where they're just like, you know what? There's nothing you can do to me. I'm up here. You're down there. To me, it's just a lack of respect. And I've always felt like these situations could be prevented if you just use your head. Like, if they just used their head and didn't act like complete morons, then the whole situation would be prevented. But hey, all of us who are here on the panel, you'll know there's always those type of people out there that, they don't think. They'll just do something first and then react second. So that's really my opinion on it. It's a lack of respect. There's a lot of disrespectful people in the world, and they don't think, they just do.
Yeah, I've been to enough football games and sat near the tunnels, where these players are coming in and out. And some of the things I've heard is like, man, you guys, you're really going overboard. But the one thing is I never had seen any drinks or anything, thrown at the players, which was a good thing. But, they take a lot of verbal abuse as well. So, I mean, you're going to root for your team or whatever the case is, and you're going to, bash the other team, but you just can't, as far as throwing things, spitting on them, you got to have some respect. And that comes with, as somebody said it in here earlier, home training. You're a representation. You're a fan. Represent for the fans. Be better.
Most definitely. I definitely agree with that. Some of them I just don't understand. I understand the person who threw that popcorn. What was they thinking? And then next, an hour later, an hour up the road in New York City, somebody spit on Trey Young, and it's like it just started to become an effect. The next thing you know, Utah Jazz was saying this bad things to John Morant's family members, and it's like as Ace said, we just got off punishment. We just able to go to the games, and y'all don't even appreciate it. I got those type of fans just need to be banned. They need to be watching it from the TV somewhere. You got to start weaving those ones out. That's what you got to start
doing. Your money's no good. You know what I mean? Like at that point, you just
right. It's not about
no
your
good
money
here. Yeah, we don't care about none of that. You got to come here with manners and act the right way. Be civilized.
That's the way I feel on it. And player safety is a big thing. Nobody wants to be treated like that at all. I mean, they tackled the guy the other day at the Washington game. They tackled the guy in the middle of the floor. He tried to run onto the game.
Was happy to see that.
Yeah, but
Here you go.
I was a little disturbed about some other things too. The Miami Heat got swept in the first round of this series, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, they were just bubble nice and they wasn't really that good." Is the Miami Heat in trouble, or do y'all believe that they just needed some time to rest and next season they'll be better? That's my question for you. I'm gonna start with you, Sports Angle.
Well, I mean, it all depends on if the rumors in the offseason end up being true. There's been all this discussion over the last 12 months. Like, people have said, oh, maybe Giannis will go to Miami. Oh, maybe Kawhi will go to Miami.
He signed a big contract. He can't go
like,
to Miami.
Yeah, I know, but there's all these people who have like all these rumors and speculation about Miami. Like, they're trying to
all that when he signed that extension.
Right. What I'm trying to say is that there's been all the speculation about what they're going to do this offseason. Personally, I don't think they're going to do anything. I don't think they're going to add a big three like a lot of the media is hyping it up. So, I mean, it all depends on the offseason and what Miami does.
Okay, Ron.
I really think Miami needed y'all get Kawhi.
Oh, boo.
Oh, boy.
Why, Ron?
Because Kawhi would take some of the pressure off of Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy need more help.
Why would Kawhi go to Miami?
Wait a minute. So you think Jimmy's under some pressure? You think that's the problem?
Yeah.
You think that's the whole problem with Miami is Jimmy's under
No,
pressure?
they're part of it though.
Wait, so you need a top 5 player to take off the Heat from a top 15 player?
Helping him, they don't need to be on the team. And you bring Kawhi Leonard, he would help Jimmy Butler destroy points.
Wouldn't it be the other way around? If you bring in Kawhi Leonard, wouldn't... Okay. I'm going to say no.
We're going to go with Czar. What you got, Czar?
Man, as long as y'all been watching sports, it's simple. Milwaukee has been a disappointment 2 years in a row, the number 1 seed, arguably the best player, the 2-time MVP. Miami beat them. Obviously, Milwaukee, who was the same question last year, what are they going to do? And what they do? They actually got cheated out of Bogdanovich. Just think if they had Bogdanovich, who's in Atlanta. They signed him. Y'all remember? I don't know if y'all remember that. He signed with Milwaukee first, and I forgot what happened, but they voided the trade or the contract or whatever. If y'all can look it up if y'all don't remember that. So then, they got Drew Holiday with the big trade. They knew what they needed to bring in to help Giannis. So one, after losing, you bring in what you feel are the adjustments to get your team over the hump. The coaching makes, obviously X's and O's and adjustments. They played this same team. There's film on it. Obviously, Milwaukee is a better team than they were a year before, with Drew Holiday being a big piece. And then who we talked about before, me and you and us, Chris Middleton stepped his game up, hitting game-winning shots, taking the pressure off Giannis. So one, give Milwaukee some credit for dominating the Heat. But on Miami, which is your question, I think that team was the most team affected by COVID. Just throughout the season, they had so many players out with COVID. They had so many players injured. They traded a key player, which I said last week, Kelly Olynyk, to get another all-star and Oladipo, who got hurt. So then you get rid of a key big man to get nothing in return, basically, with everyone else, with Dragic getting hurt, again, Hero and them in and out of the lineup with COVID. And voila, you get a sweep from Milwaukee on both sides. To me, that was just it. Milwaukee made adjustments, improved their team. Miami had a lot of obstacles, a lot of injuries, and they lost to the better team this time and lost bad. in my opinion. And that's what happened. Now, in the offseason, I don't know. I mean, this is supposed to be a big free agent year. Giannis is signed. He ain't going nowhere. I don't know Kawhi's contract. I know he just went to the Clippers. So I believe he's signed. When he went there from Toronto, I believe he's signed long-term. He's not going nowhere. And plus,
no, he's a free agent after this season.
Is Kawhi had an opt-out? He might have an opt-out. I didn't know the situation. I know he signed.
He has an opt-out clause.
There you go. Okay, so that's why they started to say that. But that stuff kills me that they talk about this early. The Clippers, first of all, what if they win a championship? He's going to leave with – now, if they losing the first round, we don't know.
Well,
so Kawhi – go ahead.
Well, he wouldn't be the first time that he won a championship and then.
Well, that's different. After. He's in Toronto, who was a rental for DeRozan. He wanted to get out of San Antonio. That's different to me. This is where he's from. This is where he wanted to go. This was his decision to go to the Clippers. I don't think he wants to leave LA.
Who knows? Maybe he's like Thanos. All right, I'm gonna win a championship here. I won a championship here.
I don't think so. But anyway, as far as what they need to do, that it's tough because we need to see who's available. You know, who's from their team, their own free agents, who do they need to resign? It's not really a simple question. Yes, they need to improve. Yes, Oladipo, who's injury prone, we need to see is he going to be able to continue to play basketball? Because if he can come back, that's a huge piece right there. So, you know, it's questions that, you know, need to remain to be seen after the season on what's available and who they're bringing back on their current roster and then what they need to fill it with.
Okay, Ace, what you got on this one, Ace?
A lot of what he said, the Bucks were the better team. Point blank, that's all there really is to it. I think Butler does need some help. I also know Butler is asking for the max contract, but they got to bring some other players over there and or get healthy. And the Bucks were just a better team overall. They played better. They went in with a purpose. They weren't going to be the same team they were last year who got their ass busted. They said, this is our time, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to go in, we're going to get it done. And they got it done.
Okay. All right. Sports Guru.
Well, unfortunately, Czar aced it this time for a change. He pretty much nailed everything. I think to me, the biggest thing that he said, which I'll just echo, is just the COVID. They were probably the number one team that was ravaged by COVID. But the one thing that Czar didn't say that I'll add is that whose fault is that? Is that the players' fault? Is that management's fault? Is that the coach's fault? Somebody has to take the blame for such a lackluster job of controlling COVID. Just like the NBA got the credit the year before in the bubble, doing such an excellent job of controlling COVID and making sure players. So
except for Lou Williams, but let's not talk about that.
Well, Lou Williams, that had nothing to do with COVID, man. That's going into a strip joint with, you know, chicken wings that I hear are really tasty. In fact, I probably could use some right now. But what I'm saying is as far as, you know, the COVID is concerned, you know, Miami Heat organization, which, you know, LeBron James left there partly because Pat Riley is, you know, likes to micromanage. He wants to be the king, so to speak. He wants to be bigger than the players. And so, you know, you have to look at either whether you're going to say was it Florida? It was Florida tougher than New York or Jersey or Chicago? I don't know about that because a lot of those places spiked as far as COVID is concerned. So once again, I'm gonna take a shot at management, okay, and say that the Miami Heat as an organization, just like they were great the year before in terms of overachieving and beating Milwaukee and making Giannis and them, you know, come to their knees, so to speak. Got to take a hit, man. Bad job. And like I said, you know, I'm not a big Spoelstra believer. He's a good coach. He ain't no damn great coach. I mean, you know, when you win with talent and you get your ass whipped when you don't have enough talent, that's not greatness. You know, I would even say someone like Larry Brown, who won everywhere he went, even though he was hard to deal with. You know, he's a lunatic for the most part, but won everywhere he was. So there's some sort of greatness in that. But I've never been a believer in Spoelstra. I thought he got too much credit last year, so now I want him to get some goddamn blame. Okay, so as far as anything else, as far as concerned, Jimmy Butler's got to take a hit. Jimmy Butler was terrible. Okay, he could talk all that talk like he's this tough guy and he's all this and he's all that. Jimmy Butler was a piece of crap. Even Stephen A. Smith, who I'm not a big fan of, came down pretty hard on him in terms of his play. Everybody was praising him last year, just like Spoelstra. Guess what, man? You ain't get it done. Now, if you look at their overall roster in terms of the talent, like he said, Oladipo, that's going to be a big thing, but you can't count on him. This guy's been injured like 3 years in a row. So whatever you get from him is gravy. But they have good talent, not great. Could they use a Kawhi Leonard? But I got to go with Czar again. I hate agreeing with this guy, but he wanted to go to LA. That's where he's from. He just wanted to stick it to the Lakers, and the Lakers stuck it to him.
He didn't want to play with LeBron.
Right, exactly. So I don't think he's want to leave. The bigger question is, right now it looks like they may get out of the first round, but if they don't, let me say something about him and George. That love affair is going to be over. Okay?
Oh,
that
boy.
love affair, that ain't happening no more. So, but like I said, Czar, great job. The people got to take the blame who got all the fame last year. That's my biggest, kind of I guess narrative from takeaway from the Miami situation. But I think the injuries and the COVID really was their undoing. And obviously, and last but not least, what's his name? Olynyk, he was pretty good last year. When Bam didn't play, he actually played better than Bam last year in the finals, and they played better. But once they brought Bam back, they had to kind of tool again, and then they kind of fell off a little bit. Maybe if they played Oladipo, Spoelstra, maybe we see something different happen, because really the Lakers couldn't really do anything with what's his name, Olynyk. They really couldn't. So that's my take on it. Thank you.
Okay, Chocolate Girl.
Well, I find that all the gentlemen that went ahead of me had some very good points. There's points that I agree with all of them, except for maybe Ron, because I don't think Kawhi is the answer there in Miami. Kawhi is not a leader.
Nope.
In what Miami needs leadership. They need good players, but they need a player who can be a leader and a good one. And I don't believe that he's the answer. I personally, I am even less of a Kawhi fan now than I have been ever. And I have never been a very big fan of Kawhi, but I'm even less so now because I feel he's more of an impediment. It's like you have to put him in the exact right spot for him to be successful and make a difference on a team. But enough about Kawhi. The question is about the Miami Heat. I agree with everything that Czar said about, what happened as far as COVID this year. Whose fault it is that Damon was asking. I don't know whose fault it was in not controlling the COVID. There's such a thing as personal responsibility that you have to take as well. You know what the rules are. You want to play basketball. You can't play basketball with COVID. Keep your ass in the house where you're supposed to be if you want to play this game. That's it. I mean, the team can only go so far with that. Personal responsibility is key. And I don't know where that went by the wayside in this game. I don't know. I don't understand it. But you got to be responsible. You're an adult. You're a professional basketball player. Behave like one. If you care about your role in the team or you don't. That's how I feel about that part. But as far as Spoelstra is concerned, I'm not putting this on Spoelstra. I think he did the best he could do with the players he had available this season. Why? They were missing Olynyk, and what they replaced him with got injured. So he wasn't able to do and coach the same way he was able to coach last season. I watched the Heat games, and it's not on Spoelstra, in my opinion. He's a damn good coach. He's top 5 coach in the game right now, in my opinion. And I just think that conditions were favorable for them not to win. That's how it was. It happens every season to at least one or two teams that start out with all this promise and things go awry and they end up not getting there. Every season you can find a team that this happens to. This was their turn and they'll be back. I never believed that Jimmy Butler was the piece to carry a team. He is not a team. He is not a player that you build a team around and you put on his back and say, take us to the promised land. He's never been that guy. And when they signed him at Miami, that's what I said then. He's going to need another piece. So it depends on how well the other pieces around him are. That determines Miami's success, not the player Jimmy Butler. It's the pieces around Jimmy Butler. So I'm hurt by it because I love the Miami Heat. That's my number 2 team next to the Lakers for me. So I hate to see this happen, but given the way they've been playing and what's happened with them, I wasn't that stunned by the sweep.
Oh, the Bulls were number 2.
No, the Bulls number 3.
Okay.
Zard, you got the comments?
Yeah, let me
Oh, I
all right.
That's fine.
Buck said it's Miami's fault, the whole city. Kellen said it's Pat Riley's fault. Kellen said we just came for Ron in the PG-13 talk. Ernest said, OG said Miami Heat management dropped the ball by not getting good help to help Jimmy Butler. Arizona definitely.
Trevor Ariza.
Okay, there you go. Definitely was. Oh yeah,
he's still in the league, huh? Okay.
Oh yeah. Chadwick said, "Why are you letting these people talk about my team?" I guess he's a Heat fan.
Big Heat fan.
Corey said, Paula George is soft in crunch time. Hasn't been the same since Indiana. Buck Flair said, Chocolate Girl, woo, sponsored by Michigan State.
That's right.
Chadwick said, it's Pat's fault when he wouldn't trade shitty Tyler Hero, especially for James Harden. Chadwick said it's Jimmy's fault for not showing up in the playoffs. It's Bam's fault for disappearing. No blame on Eric.
I agree.
Chad, yeah, there you go. Chad also said top 3. But yes, Sharon, absolutely speak facts.
Thank you, Chad.
Corey says Steven Adams to Miami along with Russell. Okay. Blaze said Orlando Magic, baby. And then Buck said Steelers started 11-0 last year. You're right. Things happen.
Oh,
whatever.
Okay.
Hey, I would like to mention that the Miami Heat don't have a first-round pick until 2024. So
yeah, the Clippers ain't got one to 2025, so they don't care.
Yeah, first-round picks are pretty much magic beans at this point.
Exactly.
They really don't care. But
you don't have one either when we traded for Vucevic, which I'll do that trade again.
Yeah, Vucevic is that guy. I like Vucevic. Speaking of these playoffs, the name of this show was It Was All Good just a week ago. So let me start right into a week ago situation with the LA Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks was up 2-0 just a week ago. And suddenly times has changed. It's now 2-2. Who do y'all feel is going to win this matchup? Go ahead, Ryan.
I got Dallas.
Okay. I played the 5th.
I got Dallas because it's hard for them to just stop Luka. I mean, he's been eating them up.
Well, they got the Luka stopper now.
Yeah, Luka's hurt now.
The Luka stopper is Rajon Rondo.
Can he do that through the whole series?
Well, he did it for 2 games. We'll see how far it goes.
He didn't get a chance in game. He didn't get a chance in game 1 and game 2. I don't know what the hell that coach was thinking.
So,
yeah, Reggie Jackson was starting game 1 and game 2. Yeah.
No, but he had Beverly on Luka, and especially in crunch time, he's too little, and he's not
right. But they put Rajon Rondo on him, and for some reason Luka ain't getting what he like. That's what I'm gonna say on that one.
Rajon Rondo is an old school defensive minded player. I'm gonna shut you down. You step over here, you step, I step. That's him. And
Beverly is more of a gnat, like he just bugs you. Rondo plays old school.
Rondo is more of a Gary Payton style defensive minded player. I'm not saying he's as good as Gary. I'm just saying that's the type of defense he plays.
Right.
I mean,
but
defensively,
defense is not the reason why that they got the 2 wins.
That's a big
No,
part of it.
I'm not saying that though. I'm not
got
saying
hurt.
that.
Luka got hurt. I don't care if you put Rajon Rondo on him. Rajon Rondo ain't stopping no Luka. He can't do nothing.
I would sit here and tell you that no, but I've seen it for myself. And Rajon Rondo does a better job on Luka than any other Clipper has done.
And inserting Batum into the starting lineup, defense was a big part of them winning those 2 games.
wait, hold on. Yeah, I agree. Marcus Morris, Zubac, and Rondo, they did good defensively.
No, Guru, I know he got hurt, but they still had to adjust. Tim Hardaway was killing them. They inserted and changed that lineup.
You know who ain't killing them?
In the first two games, the key was that everybody, the bid players, were all doing a great job in scoring. They were getting it from everywhere, including Luka. Then Luka gets hurt in that game 3, and now, like you said, Hardaway and everybody else starts missing. It all starts with Luka, and now I don't know if they can regain that same form that they had in the first 2. If I had to bet, if I was a betting man, I would say no.
Well, this is my thing. You know who's not stepping up? Kristaps Porzingis.
Right.
I knew he was going to say that.
He's no longer. I had this conversation with Rashawn. Shout out to Rashawn Jackson. He's no longer a unicorn. He's just a horse. Okay.
He's
just a horse.
He's a pretty horse, though.
Yeah, he's just a horse.
All right. Ribbons back
I don't know if you're gonna pick him in this race, but he's just a horse.
Some little stars hanging down, you know.
No, I don't see no little stars hanging down.
Got some hair weave in the back.
Don't get starstruck with that white horse business.
Right. He's just a horse.
You know what? You need to watch yourself, David. You said some stuff. What you just said. All right. You know what you just said. Don't let me put that song on. Don't let me put that song on.
Oh man, y'all are crazy. But yeah, you went and I think what? How many first round picks they gave up for Kristaps Porzingis? Was it 2?
I believe so.
Because that's why the Knicks got 2 picks this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to step up, man. I mean, this is it. Yeah, this is where big time players step up. If you don't show up all season and you show up in the playoffs, you can be somebody. I've seen it done before. So
I'm gonna answer this question. I'm gonna answer your question. I got the Mavericks winning. I don't care. I hate both of these teams. I hate the Mavericks. I hate the Clippers. But I think I hate the Clippers more than the Mavericks. But so I don't really care who wins. That's what I'm saying. That's the only reason why I mentioned who I hate. But I believe that the Mavericks are gonna pull it out.
Sharon, please don't
tell us how you feel,
that
Sharon.
Big, white, broken down horse until he died. Don't ride him until he dies, Sharon.
I'm not riding him. I'm just telling you, somebody gonna step up. And what I'm really counting on is the further implosion of the Clippers. They tend to do that. And that's what I'm counting on.
Like I said when the series started, Clippers in 6, book it 4 straight.
I say Clippers in 7. I mean, Clippers are a 7-point favorite right now. So.
Ooh, and when they lose, I'm coming straight to your ass, sorry.
I'm going with the Clippers as well.
Bring it on,
chocolate. I feel as though
I'm coming straight to you.
I feel as though that they got their mojo back. Kawhi is looking more like Toronto Kawhi.
Right.
So I'm going with the Clippers. And it's kind of crazy because in Toronto he used to take games off. And then he'll come back and be strong in other games.
Oh, he take games off with the Clippers. They allow him to do that team.
I'm just saying. I'm talking about when they went on that run in Toronto when they went to the championship and won the championship. He took games off, and he would take games off and disappear, and then he'll come back in other games and he'll destroy. It's like it's weird.
He know this season what happened last year. He knows his legacy's on the line. He know he cannot lose in the first round. Ain't no way.
Okay. Well, so. How do y'all feel about the Utah-Memphis series?
I told y'all, Utah in 5. I told you that when Memphis won game 1.
Okay.
Mitchell, the Spider-Man wasn't there. Utah 5. Book it. Move on.
What you mean? Shut your mouth.
It's been a lot of questionable calls.
It has been a lot of questionable calls. Not last night's game.
Not last night, but
them first 3 games.
Right, it's been questionable. Yeah.
You trying to say they cheating like LA?
Is that what we doing now?
There's just been
Right,
questionable
exactly,
calls.
Sharon.
But you know what?
Sharon.
Is this gonna be the Sacramento Kings all over again? Is
I
that what we got to do now?
I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this like this, Sharon. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. That's what I'm gonna say.
I hate Utah. I want Memphis to win, but come on, y'all.
This is what I'm gonna say right here. I'm gonna say this. If Utah win, go ahead and let them win. Who they play next one anyway if they do win?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If Utah win, what?
If Utah win, they go ahead and win, but they ain't going far. Clippers gonna beat that ass.
Right. Utah versus Clippers second round.
I agree with that, Dennis.
Yeah.
Clippers gonna beat that ass.
I gotta say this.
Memphis should have beat that ass, but Clippers gonna beat that ass.
They're not ready. A year too early, man. Too early.
I think Memphis gonna win the next 2 games.
Oh my goodness.
Oh shit. That I even it up 3-3.
And I book it right now.
Book it.
Ron, I bet you.
But who's gonna win?
I'll bet him
Ron, you realize you're going with a
who's
9.5
gonna win
point
Game 7, Ron?
I got Memphis.
So you got Memphis winning the next
Ron,
3
stop it.
games.
So you really believe that they're gonna win?
Yes.
Ron.
You got matter of fact, but
they have to win 3 games in a row. You do understand that?
Yeah, you got AKA Prince.
Hey, you know what, Ron? Fuck it. I'm on the bandwagon too. Fuck it. You say they're gonna win 3 straight. I'm with you, Ron.
Hey, you know what?
I feel like I gotta be clear
Every time somebody cheat, it always turns to the light, right?
Wait, Ron, I gotta say this.
Right?
Wait.
Every time somebody cheat, it always turns to the light, right?
Yeah, but what's it got to do with
Okay.
We doing poetry now?
Cheating for the gas. And now Memphis been bust their ass.
Oh my!
Who are you talking about?
Cheated? What?
Who cheated?
We gonna see it anyway.
Who
Where Ace at? Ace still there?
Hey, I thought only Brett did shows drunk.
Who cheat? Who cheating?
Hey, Dennis.
Ron.
I thought only Brett did shows drunk.
Ron, no. I'm
riding with Ron. Ron says it's going to Game 7. Fuck it, I'm riding with Ron. It's going to Game 7.
Check this out. Check this out, Dennis. $250 for you, $250 for him.
No.
All you got to do is pay me $100 for both of y'all.
No, we ain't making no bet.
Dennis,
no bet.
Ron, hey Ron.
Dennis, hold on. Facebook bet, profile pic, me and
you. No bet. Okay. No bet.
Hey, I understand that, but Ron, I gotta say
I put up 500. 500. Y'all give me 50.
Okay, that's great. Good for you. There. Ron, I gotta say this with all due respect. Never walk into a sports book. But never walk into a sports book ever again, Ron. 9.5 point underdog, and you think they're gonna win back to back to back.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Like Ron, that's one of the most blasphemous things I've heard. Like 9.5 point underdog, they're gonna win back to back to back.
Well, that's my belief. So.
Well, you're gonna get embarrassed. So.
500.
All right. Well, everybody got their picks on that one. So. How do we feel about these Lakers and the Suns?
Suns are gonna win. Next topic.
Oh my goodness. This series is difficult to talk about. It's too much unknowns in this series. I mean, I'm gonna stick with LA in 7. I said that I want them to lose, but I don't know.
I said it before. I'm gonna say it again.
Get hurt. One gets hurt. Now Chris Paul looks healthy. Now AD is out. I'm gonna stick with LA in 7. I'm going LA in 7.
Shannon Sharp ass thought he was saying something. CP3-0, Lakers are 5. No. Suns are 6.
Well, AD is hurt. If he don't play, I mean, that's a big reason.
Embiid is hurt. Should happen.
Oh, yeah. They lose to Washington 3 straight. We got a problem.
Should happen.
Well, Derrick Rose did get hurt for us, and we did lose 4 straight to the 8 seed Sixers. So you got a damn point about that.
Shit happens, don't it?
Lakers
You got
and
a
6.
damn good point. We couldn't even be fifth. We could have got
Suns
the
and
first
6.
round without Derrick Rose.
We was the same team without Derrick Rose. That's why.
60-win team, and we couldn't even beat the 8th seed without that man. Crazy.
I'm trying to tell you, we was the same team without Derrick Rose.
You remember that team, Philly? Right, exactly.
I'm just saying, Lakers and 6.
All right, Suns. So what you say, Guru?
Hey, I gotta ride with my man LeBron, man, until he,
Oh God, why'd I even ask you?
You riding with the chocolate.
What you want me to
with
do?
The chocolate, Ride with the chocolate.
I'm gonna go
I'm
get
your
my
girl.
Laker cap
Ride
in a
with me. Ride with me, Damon. Ride with me.
Y'all riding that white horse?
Well, let me be nice, because you don't like
ride
me
with me now.
horse.
Ride with me.
You don't like me riding that white horse.
Y'all ride that white horse?
You
I don't know about no white horses.
You also
but you need to ride with me on the Lakers.
Y'all is something else. Something else.
Ride with me.
Oh man.
Look at King Czar's hat. Oh my God.
Y'all want me to do the comments or we can keep going?
Yeah, go ahead and do the comments.
I told you King Czar don't like me. That's why he keep having that moving background. I told him.
I'll change it in a minute. I'll change it in a second.
I told him he making me.
Let me read the comments real quick. No,
I'm getting dizzy, Damon. Getting dizzy.
Let me read the comments first. Okay, Blaze said, let's go to the Mavericks. Corey said Mavs winning the series. Blaze said I got Clips in 7. Book it last Tuesday. Jay Jones said Clippers. Corey Williams says Clippers have no answer for Luka, agreeing with Damon. Kellen said the Braves. Come on, man.
He's talking about the Clippers. He's talking about the Clippers. He calling the Buffalo
Braves. Going old school with it? Okay.
Yeah. He keep everything Buffalo.
Buck says Luka hurt with that neck strain. Clippers take it. Corey said Rondo is a shark in the water. Agree with that. Kellen said the Braves are Buffalo by the way of LA. Again. Hardaway got hurt too, Buck said. OG said Porzingis need a Red Bull. Hope he can stay healthy. Corey said Mavs in 6. Clippers, Blaze said Clippers all day. Luka like Jimmy, can't do it alone.
We can't read no more Blaze comments. He's banned.
Buck said Sharon talking sexy talk straight for that ass. Okay. Corey said Jazz. Buck said Dennis. I don't know. Buck said Dennis excuses Holmes. Buck said Ron said 3. His team lead 28-3. Corey said they have no answer for Ja. Apparently they do. Buck Flair said I see Knicks winning 3. OG said Jesse Johnson, Ja Morant. Corey said Suns next. Buck said, is AD playing tonight? I don't believe so.
No.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Buck said, Sharon, ride with me, Chocolate Mullen. And then Jay said, no AD, it will be tough for LA. Those are your comments.
All right. Denver and Portland.
Lakers in 6.
Denver and Portland.
I love that series. Go ahead. Let somebody else start it off.
Denver in 6.
You said Denver in 6?
Yeah, Denver in 6. They're a 2-point favorite, so I'm gonna go with them.
You got to get out of that Vegas world.
I know that's all you did.
They're in my backyard. I mean, I literally am consumed by it.
You can't go by that all the time.
You got to get out of that Vegas world. You got to just eliminate it out your mind. Ryan, what you got, Ryan?
I physically can't.
Well, I don't like CJ. What's his name?
McCullough.
Yeah,
McCullough.
He don't show up half of the time.
Yeah, I don't like him either.
Oh shit!
Donovan. Give me Denver.
Hey, let me ask this question: does Sharon like anybody? Because like this entire show, is just,
for the first time, the sports angle, for the first time, I've actually witnessed her not like a person that she didn't know 3 hours before. For the first time, I'm just gonna say that. For the first time.
What you?
For the first time, I'm gonna say that.
What are you talking about?
I ain't saying nothing. That's it.
No. Who was that? I can't remember who it was.
Dylan Brooks.
Oh yeah, I don't like him. But I still like Memphis though. I still like Memphis.
I'm going with Portland. Sports Guru, what you got?
I picked Denver to start the series, but I actually wouldn't be shocked if Portland won. But I'm gonna stay with my original pick. I'm gonna go with Denver. But you know what? This series should go either way, to be honest with you. I'm really, you know, as far as I've always been a little hard on Dame because I just think he has all this bravado. He's never done anything, you know, other than wave bye to those clowns Westbrook and Paul George. I mean, so what? I mean, you know, last year they were supposed to be so bad. Barkley had them beating the Lakers, and then it's a gentleman's sweep. I mean, like if LeBron James got swept like that, the world would come to an end, or even Kawhi. You know, so if you're this great player, how come nobody ever acts like you're a great player when you constantly get your ass whipped? But, you know, he has played well, and it's going to come down to him and the big guy. So, you know, or the MVP of the league, you know, because I believe he's going to win it. So, well, the Joker. But so it could go either way. But I'm going to stay with my team. You know, not my team, but it's the team I picked. I mean, I can't do a Benedict Arnold and jump off in the middle of the dam as the boat is going down.
Well, theoretically, you could. No one's going to stop you.
I don't think he's on that level.
But he acts like it, right?
I believe. Well, no, he's not really a cocky player. To be honest with you, to me.
Stop it! Come on.
I don't see it.
You talking about Dame?
Yeah, Dame Lillard. I don't see the cockiness in him like that.
He's confident. Just like
he actually waved to.
Is he more cocky than Curry? Is he more cocky than Curry doing a shimmy and flying around and watch John Morant ate him up in the playing game because he embarrassed him in the last game of the regular season? Who's more cockier, him or Curry?
Well, Curry deserves to be cocky. He's a two-time MVP.
That's not cocky.
No, y'all saying he's cocky.
I feel like we're
that's
blurring
not
the line.
cocky.
Curry got.
That's what I'm saying, Sharon. That's why I'm making that point. It's not.
Curry got 3 chips though.
Yeah, man, better team, man. That's something different. That's something different. Though. Robert Horry got 5 chips.
He got
more
7.
than that, I think.
Right.
Listen. Well, but the problem is Dame don't got none.
Because he don't have a team that Curry played with.
Well,
give him Kevin Durant, give him Klay Thompson, give him Draymond Green. He'll have 3 chips too.
I agree with you with that. But the one thing I'll say,
my opinion, I think he would.
He always uses the excuse.
Had nuts.
You cannot say that.
The excuse that I can't leave teams. Well, then shut the hell up. Then, if you can't leave teams, then shut the hell up. I don't want to hear about that. Say that again.
Who said he can't lead teams?
Well, he always says that I want to stay with the same team. I don't want to do what those other cats do.
You don't want to do. He's got a competitive nature in him. That's why.
Man, everybody got competitive.
No, they don't.
Everybody here has competitive nature.
No, they don't.
To say that professional.
Not the same. Not the same level.
To say that professional athletes that bust their ass a lot harder than you ever did anything in your life or myself. To say that they don't have competitive instinct.
Not the same level.
It's stupid. It's
not
stupid.
The same level.
You don't get to be a professional athlete without having the greatest competitive instinct.
No, I don't agree with you.
I disagree with you.
I can be stupid all you want to call me, and I disagree with your ass strongly, brother.
All right. Well, you entitled to.
Okay, but I can't hear with both of y'all trying to talk at the same time. Go ahead.
Here's my thing on it. I believe that people have a competitive edge, but I believe that there's a lot of buddy ball nowadays, and that's what Dame Lillard was trying to avoid.
Exactly.
He didn't want to keep playing buddy ball. Like, we team up, and we could go ahead and win a championship, so that way we won't have to be out there like, we ain't never win a championship. I don't think he wanted to do that. I don't think Russell Westbrook wanted to do that.
Nope.
To be honest, Jimmy Butler don't want to do that. Hey, Jimmy Butler didn't want to do that. That's why he left when Derrick Rose came back. They said they were arguing about the alpha. When he went to Minnesota, they had us forming the Big Three. He didn't want no parts of it. When he went to you guys in Philly and they formed the Big Four, he didn't want that. Jimmy Butler wants to be the alpha, but he wants the right players around him. I respect it.
I think the problem in Philadelphia was the coaching. I don't think it had nothing to do with the Big Four.
I'm telling you, Jimmy Butler don't want no.
But the way he said it on JJ Redick's podcast, it didn't have nothing to do with the players. It was the coaching. I think if we'd have got rid of Brett Brown a couple of years ago, it probably would have been different. We probably would have kept Jimmy. I mean, because we paid Jimmy because we had to pay him to get the trade for him to go.
Nah, he didn't want to be overshadowed. He didn't want to be overshadowed by Embiid and Simmons, man. I'm telling you.
Okay, I don't think that's what it is because he still was the alpha on the team. He was the guy taking the last shot every time.
All
That's
right.
why I'm saying I don't think
know,
that's
man.
what it was.
Okay.
Well,
But
I got Portland in 7. What I wanted to say is Portland and Denver are pretty evenly matched.
Yes.
So that's the reason why I think they're going to go 7. But I think Portland's going to have an edge on them because I just feel like they are. Neither team. I'm not excited about either team, but I just feel like Portland has an edge over Denver.
I say whoever wins Game 5
with Murray, what's his name? Murray being
Jamal
out.
Murray, right?
Yeah, with him being out, yeah.
I say whoever wins Game 5, but I'm sticking with Portland in 6 because Game 7 in Denver is going to be tough. So I got Portland winning the next 2. And
okay.
Yeah, Portland in 7.
Well, the game that I'm currently watching, Boston and Brooklyn. I was excited to see my son put up 50 on them and get a win. But yeah, this thing might be over.
It's over.
Yeah, this thing might be over. I'm just
the Celtics down by 10 right now in the third with 8 minutes left in the third.
But Jabari Parker is balling.
Finally, huh?
I love to see it. And him and the Celtics is a good look. I don't know.
Hey, Dennis, I gotta take off, so I'll see
it
you
wasn't
later.
a good look nowhere else.
By Sports Angle. I can't think of his name. Ian. Ian.
Rocco.
Ian,
Rocco.
Whatever you
I
want to
call
call
him
me.
Ian. I don't know.
Let's figure his on air name so people know who he is.
Bye, Rocco. Bye, Ian.
Right,
bye, Sports Angle.
All right, brother.
But yeah, I got on this one. I got the Nets winning tonight 4-1. So
I mean, I had Nets 4-0. I mean, 4-1. I mean, Boston got one. I didn't.
Yeah, I had the Nets 4-2. I thought Boston was going to win 2.
Nah, I didn't see them winning 1, but they got 1, so that's good enough.
Oh, I know they was getting 1. I knew he was good enough to get 1. He's a franchise player. He's good enough to get 1.
He got one. That's all you getting though.
Brooklyn Nets going to win tonight.
David over there looking like P. Diddy with his
Hey, Dave, what you got to say, Sports Guru?
What you got to say?
I don't think Kimba's even playing tonight. Is he playing?
No, Kimba ain't playing.
Nope.
I mean,
you can't playing like trash anyway.
You can't expect him to do it without 2 of his top 4
Kimba
players.
don't even perform in the playoffs though, man.
But he played the one game they won. He was awesome.
Exactly. They played 5, right?
Well, but he's missed the last 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear you. I mean, he's a solid player. I don't think he's a difference though.
Solid.
Now, Jaylen Brown, it hurt them. I still don't think they'll beat Brooklyn with Jaylen Brown, but they might win 1 or 2, like Dennis said, with Jaylen Brown. But
hey, they doing as good as you can expect from these guys.
Exactly.
I actually think with Jaylen Brown that they could have beaten the Nets.
That's my champion.
Yeah,
I'm high on them.
But let me tell you why. Because Jaylen is a two-way player.
He is.
And I don't know if you all have watched the Celtics very closely like I have. I watch them because I can't stand them, so I watch them. And also because I love Jason Tatum. When Jaylen is on there, it's like Jaylen is his Robin. I hate to call him Robin because they're so good together. Yeah, it's like close. when they play, they feed off each other. And Jason performs at a higher level Jason plays on a higher level when Jaylen is on the floor because he's more confident. He knows when he passes the ball, he's gonna catch it. He knows he's gonna be on his spot where he's supposed to be. He can count on Jason. And that's he can count on Jason.
Sharon, they just need the firepower too, though.
Well, that too, but it makes a difference when you've got that guy on the court that you can depend on, that knows you and you know him and you know how to get that ball going and doing whatever. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. That's the reason. It's like what's that dude's name in Toronto? I call him the Pillsbury Doughboy.
What position? Siakam?
Guard.
Lowry?
Yeah. Like when DeRozan first left. When DeRozan left, I know that they got Kawhi. I understand that. But it wasn't the same. It took them a minute. It took him a minute to get used to Kawhi after he left, after DeMar DeRozan, because DeMar was his boy.
Yeah, true.
Like playing back home on the playground. they knew each other like, you know, yin and yang, freaking frack. They knew each other. So it takes, it makes a difference when you don't have that dude with you on the team. That's another, you know, I could go on and on about Steph missing his Clay now 2 seasons. It makes a difference. That's all I'm saying.
Got you.
Okay, well, let's go on to the Sixers and Washington Bullets.
Now, this one right here took a turn, boy.
Took a turn, didn't it?
Woo!
I thought the Wizards were done.
He doubtful for Game 5. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna miss all 3. Dennis, if he miss all 3, it's a wrap.
It's all 3.
Wait a minute, who doubtful?
You think so?
Embiid doubtful.
I said this a couple days ago. I said we up 2-0. Let's stop playing Embiid. Let's let him rest. Everybody like, no, you don't let him rest in the playoffs. I know Embiid. You ain't making it through no whole playoffs without being injured. I know you. Sit your ass down.
Wait a minute, Dennis. What about who their coach is?
That's Doc Rivers.
What about that 3-1 Doc Rivers thing?
Oh shit, I'm out.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh shit.
You always bring it up.
I forgot all about that shit.
Hold his R. Before he came to the Sixers, what did you always bring up about Doc Rivers?
I said we bet not go up 3-1. I said that.
And y'all up 3-1.
All I was going to say, Sharon, I'm taking it further. 3-0. Y'all better not blow a 3-0 lead now. This ain't 3-1. You 3-1 now, but y'all was 3-0, buddy. So this might get interesting. I got Washington winning Game 5. That's all I'm gonna say. Right, I'm sticking with Philly. They got too much, even without Embiid. They got to win one of the next 3. Simmons and Tobias and Curry. They got shooters. Philly going maybe 6 or 7. Philly gonna win the series, but Washington gonna win Game 5.
I'm still sticking with Philly too, Dennis. Don't get depressed. I'm still sticking with Philly.
I forgot all about that though, Sharon. I really did. I'm sitting here stuck like Chuck now. I really forgot all about that.
Dennis, I would not be your girl if I did not remind you of what you said though. I wouldn't be your girl.
Sheesh.
I am getting those Derrick Rose flashbacks, but y'all up 3-0. This Derrick Rose was Game 1, so y'all only need 1. That's it.
What you got, Ron? Ron, you think they're gonna pull it out?
They don't got no choice. They don't got no choice. If they let this one slip away, I know Carl Dennis, I'm gonna be like, what's going on, player?
I might have to quit. Listen,
we lose this.
I might have to quit talking to him.
If y'all let this game slip away, I'm gonna be on your ass during the whole season.
It's gonna be the first time in the history of the NBA if it happens. Never
I'm gonna be on you during the whole season.
3-0 has never happened before. 3-1 has happened, not 3-0.
All right, Mr. Hargrove, what you think? Because Dennis kind of stuck right now, so I'm gonna moderate for a second.
It's like 141-0 that a team up 3-0 has won. You know, so there's no way in hell that of all people, Russell Westbrook.
Here you go.
Never won anything. You know, who somehow the fans, even though you don't condone all of this violence, all this nonsense, the fans always seem to go after his ass. I don't know, like why? Why did they go after him?
I'm gonna be real with y'all.
He's actually not nobody that you would really want to mess with in this season.
Exactly.
So why did they go after him? It's like, I think it's because he got that ABM in him. You know, people used to say that about me, about my job. Then I turned into a nice person the last 10 years that I worked at Metro. So he got that angry black man syndrome going, and everybody just hates him, you know? So, nah, they ain't going to win. We'll do the odds again, Dennis. Don't worry about it. I'll go 100. I'll go 500 to your dollar this time if you want.
He said $1.
Come on, man. Ain't no way. They not winning it, man. You know, Embiid though, you gotta admit, because you was now I'm gonna get on your butt you big black booty, because you was up there calling Embiid the MVP, and I told you he had missed. I thought it was 25 games, and Czar went and checked.
No, I said Joker. I said Joker MVP, but I said Embiid.
No, but you
25, 30
math,
games.
you find out he only missed 20 games.
20, right?
But the bottom line is he missed 20 too many games. No way, Joker's got to win it. I can't give it to Chrissy Paul, because he's always getting injured himself, and now he's he
wasn't a finalist anyway.
So I can't give it to him. But the bottom line is
he wasn't an MVP, no way.
But you know what, Dennis, I don't think you got enough talent to win a championship with this team. So I don't know where you're going with that. You could beat Atlanta in the next round, but maybe you could also get upset if Embiid is not there. But Philadelphia don't got enough talent to win.
Oh, they won't beat Atlanta without Embiid.
Either Milwaukee or the Nets is coming out of the East. Let's be honest.
This Trae Young coming out party, they won't beat Atlanta.
Since we know that Milwaukee swept the Heat, we're on to the New York Knickerbockers and the Atlanta Hawks. Mr. Guru, who's about to come up on some big money, how do you feel?
Well, I said it. You run the promo of my little rant, that I went crazy on Thibodeau, and it really bothered me when all of these, the mainstream media, let's call it that. If I don't want to be politically correct now, I don't want to get any more trouble with Sharon. Basically, they were all saying that it was a mismatch. Big Mr. Thibodeau versus little, my man, Nate. I knew that obviously Atlanta had way more talent, and they're proving it. Now, what's his name? What's the guy, the center for Atlanta? He came out and basically, you got to get his rant. He went crazy at the Knicks, said they gonna bust their ass. They ain't nothing. We'll beat them he just went crazy.
Who was that, Capella?
I think that was Clinton Capella.
Yeah, Capella. Capella went crazy on a rant against the Knicks. Now, I do subscribe to the old saying, let the sleeping dog lie, man. Don't be going kicking no sleeping dog. But he, for a guy that barely could speak English, he was on his. It's like he had his own podcast today.
Look, Capella need to shut his mouth. Go ahead.
He had his own podcast today.
What?
I'll take the money and run, but. Hey, look, man, the Gurus, I like to give a lot of love, man. Dennis, if you want any of those bets, man, I know you're traveling soon. You're going to be, going all over the world and everything. Come on, take some of this money, man. Take some of this money, player.
Cool, man. Listen. We got a great partnership going. Let's keep it the way it is, all right? Let's keep it the way it is.
I will say this. After that, I don't trust Atlanta. I don't. Because you don't get no other team building board material.
That's what I say.
They shouldn't have did that.
You don't do that.
Let me tell you
and then wait a minute. I'm gonna say this: of all people, Capella. Does he know his own history? He needs to really shut up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well,
I'm not gonna belabor it.
You don't get no other team though.
So who y'all got?
So we just said 3-1 has happened a few times. Never 3-0.
I got Atlanta.
I'm sticking with New York. New York is 7, baby.
Okay.
No, I got Atlanta in 5.
I got Atlanta in 5. I said it here last week. ATL in 5.
New York is 7.
I said it last week.
Derrick Rose to the rescue.
Well, I said initially Atlanta in 6, but I think it's gonna be 5.
Let me get comments. Let's see.
Yeah, you get the comments, and then Sharon go right into her joint, and then we go right to Ryan. And
here we go. All right, let's go from Corey says Dame Lillard needs that edge. Portland is not the place for him in his stage of his career. Chuck said coaching, 76ers. Corey said Butler left Minnesota because he didn't like Karl Anthony Towns. Corey, he leaves somewhere because he don't like somebody. Corey said he blow Karl Anthony Towns' girl back out. Stupid. Chuck said Dame time puts up 40 or 50 next time. Chuck said Sharon Tatum.
Now I'm married to Jason Tatum now.
Right. Okay. Corey said Jaylen Brown is the heart of the team.
Exactly.
Chuck said Dennis. I know Embiid Holmes. Blaze put Philly's going to win, and this is what the benefit of the number one seed gets you. Next series, Nets and Bucks beat each other up, and Philly will beat Hawks. Corey, Philly is on suicide watch. Kellen says, don't trust Doc. Chuck says 76ers will finish them. Westbrook got his money. Ernest says ATL. Corey says go Knicks. Josh, Warriors in 6. This ain't 2015. Kellen says Knicks in 7. June Pierre says let's go Knicks.
June.
Blaze says every free throw, popcorn, and between free throws, the Colonel Popcorn sound plays. Clint Capella, Casey says, should have never opened his mouth like Sharon. Let's see. June says he agrees with Ron. Chuck says Dennis Holmes take Knicks tomorrow. He's telling you to take the Knicks.
Nope.
Ricky says we aren't worried about New York. And then Corey said Knicks in 7. And then last, Derek says F. Kyrie Irving, dude is biased. And then Juan, I keep saying Juan, but June on the bulletin board talk. Tell him to shut up.
Yep, shut up on it.
Right, you got to.
I ain't worried about the bulletin board talk. El DeBarge was going
I
to kill
call
him.
your name, girl.
Right. El DeBarge is going to kill him. Damn, Boston down 7. Ain't that some shit?
9.
Let's go, Sharon.
All right, you got the picture?
I ain't got no picture.
All right, okay, so I was reading this article on my Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm in a whole lot of Steelers groups. There's a whole lot of them. I'm in all of them just about. And so the question came up about retiring jerseys, because, you know, with the caliber and the history of great players and Hall of Fame players that the Pittsburgh Steelers has, you know, some jerseys, you would think a whole lot of jersey numbers have been retired. But we've only retired Mean Joe Green, 75. That's a wrap. Nobody's going to wear that again. So the question came up for your favorite NFL team. Do you have jersey numbers that you feel should be retired? And with me, you know, being a Steelers fan, it's really easy to talk about for me because it's so many great Steelers legends numbers that I could choose from to retire. Just great legendary Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sure there's some Steelers that all of y'all could pick whose jerseys need to be retired. That's how legendary we are. So you guys can go first. I'll start with you. Well, I know Damon don't really have a favorite football team.
Well, just one thing I wanted to say.
Do you know of any that you would have retired?
Yeah, Mean Joe Green. But one thing before we go there, I have Clint Capella's interview here. Should I play it for you? This is laughable. I think we should listen to this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull it up for you guys. All right, here he is. There. Let's play this because this is funny.
He's funny. I can't hear it.
Hold on, I'll start it over.
Back here that we can push guys around too. They're trying to play tough. I mean, push our guys around and talk shit. But we can do that too. And we show them as soon as they came back here that we can push guys around too. We can talk as well. So what you gonna do about it? And we can get a win with it. So what you gonna do about it? Oh, game 4, you're coming back again. Well, it's gonna happen again. Win the game. We talk and we push around. So what are you gonna do about it? So that's what happened. We can do it too. We can be physical, but we can win games as well. And now we're coming to your home to win this game again. They send you on vacation. There's 2 ways of being physical. It's physical, but you keep playing the right way. And there's physical, but you kind of play dirty. There's 2 different games. We playing hard because we playing the right way. We win games that way. When you're playing hard just because it's kind of your last solution, I don't take that as a playing hard team. So, I mean, just for us now, we have to focusing on that on us and go out there. We know how the crowd's going to be and get it done.
Cliff, do you, when you talked about, not playing the right way physically, you kind of talking a little bit about, what happened at the end of game 4 with Randall's elbow?
Yeah.
What was your reaction to that?
I was all right. It says it all, that you don't have any more solution but playing that way. You think that you're playing hard doing fouls like that? Well, it's not. This is not the game. If you can't play hard the right way, this is not playing hard. Those are flagrant fouls. Like, those are not in the game fouls. So it's not. You're just trying to look physical, but it's not working. It's kind of the last solution.
Okay, there you have it. My man Clint Capella, Woo, boy, I tell you.
He needs to sit
See
down.
what happened with it.
You know what? The rights to none of that. Facebook. Okay.
You know what? Somebody should have told him to just be quiet.
Yeah, he just need to be quiet.
Well, why didn't you do it, Ron? He lives around the corner from you.
No, it don't either. I live like an hour away from ATL. But
so you want to know what jersey numbers that I think should be retired?
For the
Philadelphia
team,
Eagles?
For your favorite team.
You better not say midnight.
I started with
Nab jersey already retired.
I started with Damon. Damon, you got any?
Well, Joe Green, his number's got to be retired, right?
It's already retired.
So is Bradshaw retired?
No, it's not.
It should be.
I could take that. You got any more that you can think of?
Well, we're talking about only the Steelers, or just talking about anybody?
No. For your favorite football team, but I thought you didn't have one, so I just thought, did you know of any that should be retired on any team?
Okay, because I guess I read the question wrong when I saw it, because it seemed to be more about the Steelers, but you're saying it's for any team in the league.
For your favorite NFL team,
and your team is the Steelers, so that's why
mine is the Steelers. Yeah,
right. Well, no, I mean, just off the top of my head, I mean, let's just deal with the Steelers. So Bradshaw, is Lynn Swann retired?
No.
What about John Stallworth?
Nope.
So the only person from those Steelers teams is Joe Green?
Yes. They retired Joe Green's jersey because when he was drafted, he started the legendary Steel Curtain teams.
Right.
It started with him. He was the first one that was drafted. So since he was the start, they retired his jersey.
Okay, but nobody else from that
nobody else is retired yet. No.
Wow. So that's interesting. I would think that you have to start retiring some of those other guys' jerseys too.
Well, I would too.
I love Joe Green, and he probably is the most instrumental from that defense. And no doubt. But like I said, you got Terry Bradshaw. If you're going, who would you say is the second best player on the defense in your opinion?
Jack Lambert.
That's the one with no teeth.
Yep.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
number 58.
That's what I was gonna say. That one with no teeth.
Yep.
Okay, so Lambert, the next defensive guy, who other than Bradshaw is the number one offensive guy?
I think Hines Ward.
I would take Franco Harris, number 32.
But Hines Ward was only on one championship team.
I would take Franco Harris, number 32, and I would take Lynn Swann and John Stallworth, number 82 and 88.
Hines Ward was on 2 championship teams.
Right. No, not Hines Ward. He said the other cat.
I said Hines Ward.
I wouldn't retire Hines Ward's jersey. I think he was great, but I would not retire his jersey.
What about Troy Polamalu?
I'm beginning to think yes on Troy. I had him on my honorable mention list.
What about Harrison?
Yeah, Harrison.
Harrison is over there with Polamalu. See, if we didn't have such legendary defensive guys before Harrison, he'd be a shoo-in. But
even the way he left.
Yeah, even
that's a contract.
This is about performance, bro. We talking performance.
Yeah,
That's
Well,
a
but
contract issue.
no. I understand what Damon is saying because
I
And they
don't
go to
like
the
when they.
Bengals.
I
it's
don't
not.
like when they do that, like with Chris Webber
But
and
just
T.O.
listen to
Like,
what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, Czar. The reason why Damon is saying that, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Damon, but I believe he's talking about how after he left, regardless of why, I got it, Dennis, it was a contract issue. He started he
I
started
know.
salting the Pittsburgh Steelers after he left. You don't do that. And then expect to be loved by the fans and the team still.
no.
And
And
he hasn't
Harrison,
apologized for it.
he's a bit of a jerk anyway, in my opinion. So
He
no,
is. But he was a
I just
beast.
wouldn't personally. I wouldn't do it. I don't consider
I
him
wouldn't either.
up there with those greats, in my opinion.
I do.
And even though I don't have a favorite team, I did root for the Steelers back then. I mean, it was either the Cowboys or the Steelers. So
Okay,
the Steelers.
there you go.
The Steelers got that butt, so we got to go with the Steelers. And even in that halftime game when they played against
For my
the Rams,
time.
everybody thought the Rams was going to win, and then the Steelers came back. I mean, the Steelers was the team of the decade, man. No question, man. That's my childhood.
I agree with you, Damon, but let me tell you, Harrison was a bizarre, but he ain't got nothing on them edge rushers from the 70s. He doesn't.
Nah, I mean, no, I hear you. I mean,
He
like I said,
doesn't.
I didn't get this watch.
He's great.
I heard about Nico Green and Jack Lambert.
If we didn't have all those other players that I knew about, then James Harrison's jersey, I would have him on my top 5 list of people to retire, jersey numbers to retire, but I don't. He's an honorable mention.
What about Bettis?
I do not believe I would retire his jersey.
Jerome Bettis?
He's not better than
I would retire Bettis's. I would retire Bettis's and Harris. And there's another running back.
You're gonna run out of numbers for the future retirees.
But they don't wear them
That's why
anyway.
they don't retire numbers. That's why they don't do it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why they don't do it, because they don't want to run out. You got to be extra.
That's why they don't.
But they don't wear them numbers anyway.
Right.
Well, you still want to have options.
Them numbers, they don't wear them. Ain't nobody wore Bennett's number. Ain't nobody wear what you call number 32? Franco Harris.
Okay, let me just ask you.
Okay, let me explain that. I can't speak for number 36, but the reason why nobody's worn 32, it hasn't been retired, but the team decided. And when people come and play for Pittsburgh, they just revere him. They will not wear 32. They won't. They don't even ask for it.
All right, Sharon, let me just ask you this question.
Now, I mean, the man got a statue in the airport. Nobody's wearing 32.
You can't have a team and win that many championships and be that legendary of a franchise and only have one person's name on jersey retired.
Right. And I'm just telling you, it is.
I don't know if Jack Lambert, because I saw Jack play, and yeah, he's right. He didn't have no teeth and all that kind of stuff, but we'll leave that alone. I don't know if he's the second person that I think should be retired. I do think you got to retire somebody's jersey. Now, to me, when I was a kid, even though I guess I have to, kind of back up, because according to Jim Brown, Franco Harris was a punk. But, he said he used to run sideline to sideline, and he really kind of disparaged him. Now, but when I was a kid, I always thought Harris was the second most important player, on that team, other than Rocky Bleier. But I know we can't give it to Rocky Bleier because, he's just a blocker.
Oh, my God. You done made Ramona's day mentioning Rocky Bleier.
I mean, Rocky Bleier was...
somewhere she over there kissing herself.
He's an unsung hero in more than one way. But Sharon, okay, let's just do it this way. 3 jerseys retired. We got Joe Green. Give me the other 2. I just need it from you.
Oh, then it definitely would be Franco Harris, Joe Green, Franco Harris, and I would retire Bradshaw. I would.
So you wouldn't retire Lambert?
Not 3rd. If I only could do 3.
Right.
If I only could do 3, if that's the rule, then I would retire those 3.
Okay.
You got one defensive player, one offensive player, and then, of course, the quarterback, who's also an offensive player, but the quarterback who orchestrated all 4 of those Super Bowls. I would.
Okay, I like it.
People say what they want to say about Terry Bradshaw, You know, I could go on and on about Terry and why he does deserve credit for what he did, but I'm that's another story for another show. But I would like to know what everybody else's picks for their favorite football team. Whose jersey number would you retire?
Well, I can tell you for Dallas, and like you said, they strict on
Well,
that.
I
We
was
only.
going to Dennis. I was
Oh,
going
okay,
to
go ahead.
Dennis
All right, that's
next.
fine. That's fine.
Dennis, go ahead next.
Dennis picked McNabb, didn't he?
No, McNabb's
No.
already retired.
How
No.
is McNabb retired?
McNabb, the Eagles actually got, I think we got like 10 retired jerseys, to be honest with
God
you.
damn. McNabb?
Yeah.
Yeah, McNabb.
McNabb?
McNabb, Steve,
Wow.
The best
we got
quarterback
Steve
in
Van Burn, we got Brian Dawkins, Tom
He
Brookshire.
wasn't better than Randall Cunningham. Stop it.
Yes, he was.
No,
He
no,
was better than
no, he
Randall.
was
Keith
not.
Rizzo,
Hey, let the man go.
hey, Chuck Lambert,
Dennis,
Al
Dennis,
Wilster,
Dennis.
Reggie
Who
White,
would you
and
retire?
Jerome Brown.
Dennis,
Who
who's
would you
better?
retire?
Reggie
Randall
White.
That's what I want to
Cunningham
know.
or Donovan McNabb?
That's
Trevor
not
Gate.
already retired.
You can't ask me that.
Come on, man. I need
Oh,
an
yeah,
answer.
that's
I
huge,
gotta
man.
be totally biased. I only started watching football because of Randall Cunningham.
Thank you.
Come on, but he wasn't better than McNabb.
Crazy.
I only started watching football because of Randall Cunningham.
Way better.
And I love
Better
him.
runner
I'm-
and
I'm-
passer.
I'm the king
But
of
he
black
didn't play
quarterbacks.
long.
He was an
I'm the
overall
king of black
athlete, man.
quarterbacks.
He got hurt.
And he was a leader.
Who
He
would you
wasn't no
retire,
sucker.
Dennis? Who would you
I'm
retire?
I'm going to retire Randall Cunningham.
Thank you. Easy.
Anybody else?
No, it might have been Nick Foles.
And Dennis, I don't know if I told you, you know that's my favorite football player of all time, Randall Cunningham.
He was the reason I watched football.
Randall
All the
was
females
excited.
in my
I
I used to
never
remember me
seen
telling that
nothing like
story.
that.
All
When
the
he came
females
in,
in my house love Randall Cunningham. He could do
I
no
never
wrong.
seen nobody do what he did
He
when
did
he
no
came
wrong in
in. I was
Philadelphia.
amazed.
He just didn't throw the ball good enough. I'm just gotta be fair.
Okay, well,
He
I love
he was
Randall
a
Cunningham.
great runner.
And
I don't
McNabb
know about
did?
all
Hold
that.
on. McNabb's accuracy was terrible. Well, hold
Well,
up.
and what's his names was worse.
He got and
Randall's
he has
Randall's was
and he
worse.
has an all pro under his belt too.
Whew.
Hey,
That's a good debate,
Damon,
though. I like the it's a
Damon?
good debate.
The
Yes.
Steelers have officially retired 2 jersey numbers. Okay, one was Joe Green, and the second one was this guy named Ernie Stotner. Do you remember that name?
Did he die of cancer or something? I don't know. I
No,
think
they retired in the '64, so it was before I was born. So I'm not familiar with him.
I think I heard it before.
Now they have 11 other jersey numbers that they unofficially retired. I'm gonna find out who they are and I'll put them in the chat.
Okay.
But is that it for you, Dennis? Only Randall Cunningham in addition to the ones that's already retired?
and Nick Foles.
Really?
Foles.
You would retire his jersey number?
Nick Foles.
Okay. All right.
Super Bowl MVP.
All right, that's his answer.
We only got one Super Bowl. I'm trying to figure this out. Like,
All right, Czar.
You're not picking
Czar, now you
Dawkins
kinda-
or
now,
Dawkins
Czar,
already retired.
Westbrook?
Okay. All right.
No, I'm not picking Westbrook.
Oh my.
So you saying, Dennis? So you saying we should retire Larry Brown's jersey?
Larry Brown.
No, I think y'all should retire Larry Allen's jersey though.
Hey, I thank Neil O'Donnell, by the way, Sharon, for that Super Bowl. Appreciate you. But anyway,
listen, you a Cowboys fan, so the Cowboys got kind of a similar problem that the Steelers have. You've had a lot of great players,
right?
So
and we only got 3.
If you
we
could
only have 3 retired.
So name the 3 that are retired, and then name me 3 that you would retire.
I have 2 for sure that I can name that I want. But we have Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Roger Staubach.
Those are retired.
So automatically they came to mind. A lot of great receivers.
Say them again. Say those again. You said
Roger Staubach was first.
Roger Staubach.
And then
Troy and,
2 of the triplets, Aikman and Emmett.
Okay.
So and obviously we know why, but Michael Irvin, just as important to that triplets team, should be retired. But obviously we know the story about Michael Irvin and the off the field stuff, whatever.
Irvin,
So what?
No, I agree. That's my point. I'm saying I don't agree with it.
Yeah, he should definitely.
He should be retired. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying the only reason he's not retired?
I think, there's a lot. Yeah, the off the field. Yes, the cocaine.
It's always politics, baby.
Yes,
it's all
I absolutely do, Guru. Think that's why he's not retired. So two that came to mind very easy, and one reason why I watch football, Tony Dorsett should easily be retired, in my opinion. So those two were easy. I was trying to think of a third person off the dome and just trying to remember who was great and who played. I mean, we talked about Dion, who hasn't been retired with any team, but Dion, yes, he only played 4 or 5 years with us, but that dude was so important, and he's like my third favorite player of all time. And I thought he was at his best when he played with Dallas before he got turf toe. So my third player would be Deion Sanders.
My player for the Dallas Cowboys, my two would be Too Tall Jones and Larry Allen.
I thought about Larry Allen. Just offensive linemen just don't get the love for that.
Yeah, Larry Allen.
He one of the greatest offensive linemen of all time.
He might be the greatest, yeah.
He one of the greatest
offensive linemen of all time.
You know what?
I'm not arguing with you. I just know they don't get the love that skilled position players get.
What about did Allen get busted for cocaine?
I don't think
Larry Allen?
Yeah, who got busted for
not with Dallas.
That was Leon Lett.
Leon Lett. Yeah.
No. I'm saying for selling it afterwards.
Oh, after Dallas, I don't remember if Larry Allen got caught.
What was the guy? The defense?
DC. Chris Carter.
What was the guy that played for Dallas and San Francisco and won all them rings?
Charlie.
That's what I'm talking about. That's whose jersey I would retire him before.
But they kept saying something was wrong with him. He crazy. They kept saying he was crazy, something wrong with him. Meanwhile, he eat brunch with Deion Sanders every Sunday, and ain't shit wrong with him.
Dale Johnson should be retired too.
He's long as he takes his medicine for his anxiety and bipolar issue, he's fine.
I got one more.
He bipolar.
Did you say Daryl Johnson?
That's what Will said.
Daryl Johnson looked like the boy from Price is Right. I ain't gonna lie. You seen him lately?
He was a nice
Yo, he looked like the boy from Price is Right.
He's the greatest blocking fullback, but he's a fullback. Jason Witten.
What that mean? Because he's a fullback.
I wouldn't retire Jason Witten.
No, I got him top 5 all time in tight ends.
Yeah, he is there. I agree with that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't retire. But
Witten got to be there. Johnston.
Now, if McNabb is retired,
Leon Lett.
Tony Romo needs to be retired.
Not the same organization.
Czar, let me help you. We're talking about Philadelphia.
I know.
They do stuff that don't make no sense.
We got Staubach and Aikman, so that's why
you
Romo
retiring Donovan McNabb's jersey. Yeah. That's just it's almost creepy. So you just can't even. You just got to overlook that. All right, go ahead, Ace. Glad to have you back. Who would you retire from the Buffalo Bills that's not retired? Who's jersey?
From the Bills, who's not retired? Who's not retired?
You ain't look it up. You told me to look it up.
I live in Buffalo. I don't need to look it up. I live in Buffalo. I know my team. There's Buffalo hasn't had a lot of success, so it's not that far to go really. I believe Jim Kelly is retired. I believe Bruce Smith is retired, and I was at the number 34 when they retired his number, Thurman Thomas. I was at that person.
Yeah, those are the only 3 that's retired.
If I had to pick one, it's an unpopular vote out of Buffalo, but I mean it's got to happen, and it's got to be O.J. Simpson.
Damn right.
I know it's going to be unpopular because of what happened off of the field, but what he did on the field is spectacular. And
his jersey number should have been retired.
I know because of what happened off the field. I get that. But when I see some guys out here wearing his number on the field, like not last year, the year before, some running back had it on, it just doesn't look right.
No.
But the problem with O.J. Simpson is they should have retired it before they retired all the guys you named.
Right, yeah, because he was way fire ass.
Yes, before he even had a chance to be charged with killing anybody, his jersey should have been retired.
That's very true.
That shows you something's wrong with Buffalo right there.
Yeah,
because he was way before those guys.
Yeah.
And honestly, he was way better than all of them.
Right.
That first guy to
Ron,
run.
you got any?
2000. Hold on.
I'm sorry. Was that it?
I might add in a couple more. I might want to throw Andre Reed in there because everybody knows who Andre Reed is. He was very instrumental in those 4 years there. And maybe Daryl Talley is another guy. You know, Buffalo people know who that is. Daryl Talley was
I know who
phenomenal.
I know who that is. I ain't no Buffalo person, but I know who that is.
Yeah, he
How
was
about that?
He was pretty loud and rambunctious in the '90s there, and he made noise, so he deserves a nod too. That's all I have.
Cool. Go ahead, Ron. You got anybody?
I got Deion Sanders.
It is the Falcons. So
Deion.
He did start with us. Remember that.
No,
he got drafted by Atlanta. So
what did he contribute to Atlanta though?
He put us on the map.
All we know about, because he got into the fight with Andre Rison. That's all we know about.
No, he brought interceptions. Ask Michael Irvin. Next, Jamal Anderson.
A few times, but go ahead.
Jamal Anderson.
He was very down. He asked Jerry Rice. He shut him down.
Jamal Anderson and that's basically about it. Who I will retire.
You wouldn't retire Matt Ryan when he done?
Stop it.
You wouldn't retire good
you
old
know
Michael
what?
Vick?
Julio.
You wouldn't retire Michael Vick's jersey? You wouldn't retire Michael Vick's jersey?
What about work done?
I will retire Matt Ryan. I will retire Matt Ryan.
What about Finnegan?
But you wouldn't retire Michael Vick's jersey though?
No.
You retire Matt Ryan?
Because he played. Matt Ryan is still playing. Michael Vick got locked up.
All right.
Matt Ryan to the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right.
Mike Vick did not do that.
You remember, I'm the one that's most critical of Michael Vick.
What about LG Crumpler? Come on, man. You should know these guys.
LG Crumpler, but he was not the same after
your question
Philly got
Ryan. Y'all being silly now.
After Philly got to him, he was not the same.
What about my man Jamie Dukes?
Oh my goodness.
Well, Atlanta. Well, all right.
Ron, question.
Anybody else, Ron?
That's it.
Julio?
Comments. No. Comments. All right.
Stop it.
Well, hold on. I got one more question.
Oh.
The question. Well, it's not really a question. It's a comment. May 25th marked the 1 year anniversary of the death of George Floyd. And I was looking at sports a lot like I do, and I noticed that the NHL actually took time across the league to pause and have a moments of silence in honor of him at the 1 year anniversary, which shocked me to the bone. Two teams in particular, the Canadians and the Hurricanes, actually stopped, had all the players. I think they all bowed their heads and locked arms. I don't believe they knelt or anything like that, but they all stood together and had a moment of silence. And they had the NHL statement read in regards to the anniversary. I guess if you could call it an anniversary. And this was their statement. We need no more senseless tragedies to remind us that all people deserve to be treated equally with dignity and justice, the statement said. We have it within our power to recognize and eliminate individual and systemic racism in our society. The National Hockey League, our teams, and our fans reaffirm our pledge to bring about positive social and cultural changes in local communities and in the game of hockey. I was stunned. Is anybody on this panel more stunned than I am, or were you not stunned that they did this? Because I'm stunned.
I didn't know they did it, but just the fact you said it was the NHL, I'm definitely stunned and wouldn't see that coming. No way.
Yeah, I agree. Well, good for them, though. Kudos to them.
Right.
I mean, that's what's up. Absolutely.
Now, what the NBA done, though?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Well, the NBA, across the whole league, various teams did various things. Right. The NBA did have a statement, but I wasn't surprised by that.
Right.
seeing
Right.
that it's the NBA, which is
Right.
probably considered the more progressive league.
Right.
But this is big news for hockey.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't get more media attention because, I mean, you all have heard the stories about black hockey players and how the
Right.
nooses getting thrown on the ice and called the N-word on a regular and all the typical things. And it's tough. It's not that many of them, but they're increasingly getting more involved in the sport. So I'm shocked, but it actually made me feel pretty good about the sport and the direction it's going. Now, I don't want to give them too much credit because it shouldn't be big news, but it is. Sadly, it is big news. And it is shocking still that a sport does that. What you got to say, Damon? What's up?
Well, I would like to say that I wasn't shocked. I did hear about it briefly. I didn't really, let it marinate with me more or less. But the one thing I must say about just a lot of, the sports world when it comes to white America, I thought they were very united in terms of all the support in terms of the cop Chauvin, and the fact that he was dead wrong and putting his foot on George Floyd's neck for all that time. There was a few people, but mainly out of the sports world who weren't, as strong as they should be. But hockey had always been strong in terms of standing or showing support. So yes, you're right that hockey is a sport that probably rivals baseball and might even be close to baseball, which baseball is so deplorable now with the number of African Americans that are in the sport. I mean, hockey probably somewhere between 5 and 10% of the players, and baseball's right there. So baseball's no better, although baseball does have a large Latino, contingency in terms of, must be about 30, 35%, maybe even higher than that. So they do have minorities, but no, hockey doesn't surprise me because those some good white brothers that play that hockey, man. And yeah, of course you're going to have situations where people do things and black people say negative things to other black people during basketball games. I mean, Kevin Garnett, we don't even want to talk about what he said to certain players and things of that nature. So we know that sometimes those things can get a little bit blown out of proportion when a white person does it, but when a black person does it, it's
well, it's not racial when a black person does it, though.
I understand, but certain things that they say, whether it be homophobic and things of that nature, that still shouldn't be allowed. Okay, so that's my point. I'm just saying that it and as a whole, I thought that they did a great job of showing support for African Americans. Just like I'm sure there's a lot of white brothers that I know from my job and other places who were wonderful. Now, yeah, it always looks bad when things happen in sports today and then it, people make it a racial situation, and some of it is. I mean, but that doesn't mean that we have to condemn all white people. The white people who do those things and feel those certain ways about it, yes, that I'm not for that, whether it be Trump supporters or whoever. But there's a good, like I said, hockey, man, I got nothing but love for them brothers. And I don't really love the sport. I know it's supposedly a great sport live and all that kind of stuff. The only hockey I played was in 6th grade, 5th grade when we used to run around in the gym with our sneakers and play. And we had a lot of fun. So I don't have the experience of playing on an ice, an ice hockey level, which, most people don't. But the bottom line is, you got to give them a lot of credit. No, it doesn't surprise me because the unity and the love that a lot of people showed us as African Americans was mind-boggling. And the one thing we didn't mention, we don't have a lot of time, and we should have brought it up, is the Naomi Osaka situation and the dealing with the health of in terms of what happened with the French Open and all that. That we needed to talk about that. Maybe obviously it's too late now, but let me just say,
I have plans to talk about that next show.
Shout out to Naomi and God bless you, because first of all, this is a woke sister, Japan or whatever. She's a woke sister. And I think the French Open was wrong. I think that they could have did a much better job. Stephen A. Smith was dead wrong today on his show by mentioning the fact that if you read her statement that she wrote on Twitter, she pretty much implies that she had already talked to the French Open and in a letter or whatever way that she communicated, and they decided to do this anyway. So I don't think they, were open enough and probably woke enough to realize the mental health issue and all that it encompasses. They weren't ready as an organization. So, the French Open, man, you guys did a terrible job. Stephen A. Smith, terrible job. Naomi Osaka, God bless you, because I posted about that before this even happened. And I was all in her corner, and I was just, and basically I was saying that she probably was going to say goodbye to this tournament. And that's a shame. She's the best, probably, tennis player. You're Michael Jordan, and she's not there. So let me leave it at that.
I agree. I do plan on having that as a topic on our next show. I was gonna get that to Dennis for a topic. But thanks. That's all I've got. Dennis, I turn it back over to you.
Well, listen, we don't have much time, so I'm gonna have to say thank you everybody who came out tonight in the comments. Ron Thomas, my co-host, to Kingzar, Sports Guru, Sharon the Chocolate Girl, Ace the MVP, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Ron, you got any last words?
Thank you to the fans, because without y'all, we would not be here. And thank you to the Flying High Podcast. We'll be back Saturday.
All right. God bless. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.